And now, ladies and gentlemen, he's been on our show 4 or 5 times. He's a great personality. He's doing so many things in the world of sports, podcasts. He's been on iHeartRadio. He's been all over the place, including sports betting. We're now talking to former Orioles, Blue Jays, and Yankees pitcher Josh Towers. Josh, what's up, buddy?
Listen, man, I love those photos, by the way.
Is it because
no
you're pretty?
golf clap of the day for me? What's going on with that?
No, well, that had something to do with it. You want me to give you a
I
golf
thought that was-
clap?
You want to
that was
interview
for
for the
me.
Knicks head coaching job?
Do you want me to give you a golf clap?
No, it's good. It's too late now. Hey, Speedy, they changed the name of the show and you don't even get none. Java gets it? What's that about? What? How does Java take precedence over you?
Well, hold on one second.
Hey, he's in the logo.
He's in the logo.
There you go.
He's hanging from his underwear.
Yeah, I was hanging for my underwear for the last 4 years.
Wow, actually,
Messed up, dude. He shows up and now you're just kicked to the curb again. Messed up.
Yeah,
me tell
my
you
underwear
something.
won't fit on the curb.
Speedy is just as big a star as any of us on this show. Let me tell you something. Nobody pushed him to the
He is the
curb.
star.
He's still the producer / co-host of this show, and he's a great personality. Speaking of co-host and being a great personality, that goes to you, my friend, because we know the whole background behind you. Before we get into our conversation about what's going on in the MLB, what's going on with your nephew? I mean, he was playing baseball, right? What's going on with him?
My son?
Your
What are you
son
talking
and
about?
your nephew. Isn't it your cousin or his cousin or your nephew? Somebody else was playing college ball. It wasn't just your son.
No, just my boys. Like I have my son and then my adopted son. They
Your
both are
adopted
playing
son.
college
There it is.
ball. Yeah, no, he's done. I think just laziness on his part, to be honest with you. My son actually just had Tommy John, unfortunately.
Yeah, you were saying that, yeah.
Which sucks, yeah, because he was going to be drafted pretty high, like top 3 rounds, and then Tommy John. But so we'll see what happens. Now he's going to be that senior kid that hopes to sign, but just bad timing. I mean, his fall was awesome, like 9 innings, no hits, no walks, 15 punchies, just doing well, right? And then this thing shows up out of nowhere, which is unfortunate. But when he got hurt, it was January. The doctor read the MRI wrong. So we just found out like in May that it actually is torn. And somebody with the team, one of the trainers or something, told him, he goes, yeah, dude, I thought it was torn the whole time. Like I knew it was torn. And Ryan said, why didn't you say anything? He goes, I wasn't allowed to. So even though the doctor read it wrong and whoever else, he's like, I wasn't allowed to say anything. And I was like, bro, we lost 3 months. Like it's not the full Tommy John. This is like 8 or 9 months. I don't know what that is, but like we lost 3 months of rehab time, bro. That's a big deal when you're trying to play college baseball. So hopefully it works out. We'll see what happens.
Josh, the New York Yankees and Aaron Judge was breaking records. He was doing things that we've never seen a player do since Ted Williams. I mean, he was unbelievable for the first 2.5 months of the
What about
season.
Barry Bonds?
And
Barry
then,
Bonds did everything.
and then in the month of June, he's been batting 267. He only has 7 home runs. He's in kind of a slump right now, but he's still batting 354. He has 30 home runs, 67 RBIs. He's on pace to hit about 60, 65, 66 home runs this season, and still over 130, 140 RBIs. If he stays healthy, does he win the Triple Crown?
I mean, he's always in the running now. I mean, you don't have to hit but 300 to win the batting title these days, so that's not that hard. He's always going to be in the league in home runs and RBIs because of where he hits and the power that he has. So I mean, I don't see why he's not always going to be in the talk. It's crazy, right? And Joba, you can speak on this, man. It's crazy how, and I know we're not picking on Aaron Judge, but we expect big things from these guys, and you have one bad month where he's struggling a little bit, and now it's like, oh, what's happened to Judgy? But usually it's April that he struggles, right? And then he has this fantastic April. You know how hard it is to be lights out for 6 straight months? It's so hard, right? And so for this to be a bad month for him, and it's still those numbers, like it just shows you how good this kid is, man.
He starts slow, and it kind of to see the way he's managed and how he continues to get better, because we've seen how there's been like, his strike zone discipline. Now we've seen how it's gotten better. His chase rate has gotten better, and how he just keeps getting better. And he's going to be in the conversation, especially too. You got to look at it now. Obviously, your favorite player, Errol, and Jazz, and how he's been hot since he came back.
Jazz Jism.
It's given him a little bit of relief, but if you look at it as a whole, he really hasn't had much. Thank goodness Goldie got off to a hard start. I mean, he's still hitting 285, but it's just, I mean, he's kind of done it by himself with no protection.
I agree.
He's been walked 20-plus times in the first half already. Still nothing compared. And we haven't talked about this kid, and we'll get it to him tomorrow. James Wood is a joke. He has better than Juan Soto numbers in the start of his career. James Wood's an absolute joke.
Bro, he's the guy that we're going to be talking about like this the next coming years. He's quietly doing – I think they all are in Washington. I think Washington's the team like probably starting next year that people are like, where'd they come from? And it's like, what? But it's like every year, every month, he's doing the little things to slightly improve, where it's not like this amazing season that we all get all excited and they fade. Like the consistency of his improvement is so good, and it's done so right without anything being rushed. Like this dude is going to be a star, bro, a star in this game.
And I seen it with the way Judge is like, struggles. Mm-hmm. And he's always had those stupid, like, the toe running into the fence and getting hit by a ball. Like, that's just dumb luck, which sucks. But I think the way he's gotten better and he continues to get better, and especially with really nobody around him being able to protect him, he's going to be in the conversation every year. I mean, that's just the long and short.
Well, if you look at him right now, he's first in batting average, 358. He is second in home runs right now in the league with 30 to Raleigh's 33.
Raleigh's not going to I love what Raleigh's doing, and cut you off real quick, brother. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Raleigh being a catcher, it's so hard to continue to do this. Dude, they don't get time to breathe. We don't ever stop talking to them. Somebody's always talking to them. That's why catchers swing at the first pitch all the time. They're in conversation walking up to the plate, right, with some pitcher or some pitching coach. It's a lot of work for those guys to go squat 500-600 times a day and continue to drive like this. So, it's amazing what he's doing, but I don't think those home run numbers continue for Cal, and no disrespect to him. It's just his position. So if he's the only guy that Judge is in the race with, Judge is going to pass him pretty soon.
So I wanted to ask about the trade deadline strategy with the Yankees too, because like the combined value with the depth that the Yankees looked like they had at the beginning of the season with the lineups, obviously the torpedo bat controversy.
What depth are you talking about?
The ones they were supposed to have signed. Obviously Goldschmidt's been great. Cody Bellinger they make the trade for, and we're expecting a bigger step with Anthony Volpe, and that hasn't really been there either.
Who was you? Hey, Volpe, I know Joba, Yankee fans are gonna hate me. He's not good. The guy's not good. So but people are down because his swing's long and slow. How about fix your swing? He's not that good, man. It's just this overrated hype coming out of the minor leagues. That's my opinion.
But think about it. Everybody wants to say he sucks, does this. He has over 1,600 at-bats in the big leagues. He's a career 228 hitter. We're not talking about 300 at-bats. What are we talking about?
That's what I feel about Soto. Like, look at the last 3 or 4 years. So, last 4 years, he's like a 268 hitter. He had that amazing second year. He's had some good power numbers, especially at Yankee Stadium. But it's like, let's be honest about facts here. Again, now once the hype of the bat thing he got is gone, he's back to being a 220 hitter or whatever. It's let's face reality with this, man.
Yeah. So what would you do at the deadline, like approaching with the lineup? Like, obviously they might need pitching, but again, they have had top guys. They have had top guys too that done well.
They always need pitching, man. Look at the Mets, right? When they were going good until this last 3 weeks, they led baseball, I think, in starting pitching and bullpen, and that's when they're winning. And now that their pitching is the worst in the game the last 3 weeks, both sides, starting and relieving, they're the worst team in baseball the last 3 weeks. And so you always need pitching. So whether you go back, are you really going to trust him? Weaver pitched in the 7th inning today. Is he the closer? Is he the 8th inning guy? Is he the 7th inning guy? Like, who's doing what? And they show that they don't have faith. And even when we were there and before – when I was with the Orioles and Blue Jays, they've never really understood how to run a bullpen no matter who was there. So they use everybody. So they're going to need pitching no matter what. Somebody's got to keep the other team off the boards. You don't look at Houston, right? They're winning all the time. It's because they don't give up a lot of runs, and they do what they need to do to win. So pitching's for sure. They don't trust Stroman. Plus, I don't know how you could trust Stroman. We've had some injuries. Yeah, you can go get a bat. Like, I'm cool with that, but is that why, and I know there's no Soto, but is that why they lost the World Series last year? Because it wasn't, right? It's all the little stuff. It's the back end of the bases. It's knowing where you're going with the ball before you get to. It's getting your ass to first base. Volpe gets off the hook, and I'm not picking on the kid, but Garrett Cole takes the heat for not going over to first base. Right, he should have been over to first base, but I'll give him a little pass just because of the mental grind he was in that inning to stay in the moment. But instinctively, it's why we work every day. So our instincts are there when our brain's off. We all know when the ball's to that side, we got to get to first base. So, he takes a little heat. Judge took the heat for dropping the first fly ball, but Volpe had no idea where he was going with that ball ahead of time. And so, like, if as a position player, if it's coming to me, I'm going here. If it's to this side, I'm going here. If it's to this side, I'm going here, depending on how slow it is. He didn't put himself in those situations. The ball's hit to his right. Last second, he decided to go to third. It's too late there, right? So I still think they have the team to do it, even if they didn't go make moves. But they got to clean up the mental side of the game and knowing where to be ahead of time if they want to be that good and face a team that like Detroit or LA or even Houston that does the little things right that gives them a chance to where they don't have to score 6 runs a game.
It's crazy. And by the way, if anybody doesn't know, we're talking to the one and only, and we've had him on the show quite a few times. We were talking to former Orioles, Blue Jays, and Yankees pitcher Josh Towers. It's crazy when you look at the league, and we have seen so many young superstars come up over the last couple of years. And pitching, we were just talking about it last week. Milwaukee's got a young stud right now. Paul Skeens is a sensational young pitcher right now in Pittsburgh. Who do you think? I know you mentioned Woods. Who do you think is the next guy up that's going to take over, in the next 5 years as the superstar of the league over guys like Ohtani and Aaron Judge?
Well, I mean, those are our 2 real big superstars. I don't know, man. You might want to give me some time to research this before you ask me a crazy question like that.
Is it crazy? I mean,
before we talked about Jay Wood, like he would have been my answer, no question about it. I just think the world of this kid and what he's doing. So without being prepared, I'm gonna stick with that. It's tough with pitching, right? Because so many guys are so damn talented, but talent, what's it worth if you don't know how to use it? That kid in Milwaukee is insane. I think that's where he's at, right? That kid,
Mizorowski.
You just got called up. He's absolutely insane. But the Cincinnati Reds are a prime example. We rush these dudes to the big league so fast, and you can't rush time and development. There's certain things that I don't care how talented you are, you need time to learn. And they rush Burns to the big leagues. And I was telling my son before yesterday's game, I go, dude, he's going to get torched. And he's like, oh, my son's in college. Like, oh, no, he's this, he's that. And I'm like, I don't care. You throw 95, I throw 95. You have a changeup, I got a. We all got the same stuff. Why did Joba pitch 9 years in the big leagues and I pitched 8 years and you have 0? And you got better stuff. Why? Because clearly we know how to use it, and there's certain situations that we've had time to work our brain through, and we've been comfortable in certain situations to trust stuff. And you don't just throw 100 miles an hour and have a nasty slider and fall behind and the ball leaves early so hitters can take it a little bit early. And then next thing you know, it's 2-0, it's 2-1, it's 1-0, and now you got to come to me, and you don't have the trust to work on the corners on, off, or downhill. And now what? Now you're just going to serve me a cookie at 100? Those go a long ways. And so I think a lot of our issues is the rushing. And the other thing to Burnsy and is a lot of guys like this. I just mentioned his name. We've done spring training, right? We've done April, we've done May, we've done June. We're 4 months into this. Where in his life has he played 4 months straight of season baseball to where you have to continue to be on a routine and continue to work? College is 40, 50 games. High school's 20, 30 games without postseason. Minor leagues, he didn't have it. Like, he's already at his peak that he's ever played consistently this most baseball without a break. He's going to fade, and that's part of it too. So we have young guys all over the place that are beasts, and we have more young arms that are freaks than ever before.
Don't forget spring training too, Josh.
As I said, spring training, it's the first part. Yeah, with the 45 days of camp that people don't realize, and so now you're at your peak, and you still got 3 months of baseball left. It's not that easy, man, and so we have all these kids, and we're rushing them to the big leagues. Look at Dylan Cruz. What are we doing? Look at what they did with Torkelson. Luckily, he's slowly starting to figure it out. Look at Vaughn in the White Sox. Like, all these guys should be stars, but we rushed the development of every time you do good for a month or two or a week or two, we promote you. Then we promote you. Then we promote you. Guess what happens when you get to the big leagues? There's no more promoting. Now let's do it again tomorrow. Guess what? Do it again tomorrow. Guess what? Do it again tomorrow and be good. Guess what? Do it again tomorrow. And that's how it doesn't ever end. And we don't know how to do that. And so these guys don't know how to work through success and then maintain it and improve along the way. And then the first sign of failure, they've never faced it, so they don't know how to handle that. We've taken that away in the development aspect. So we have a lot of players on the offensive side or the pitching side that should be, could be, but aren't as good as what they're rated or projected to be.
Hold on. And a little while ago,
hold
on one second. There was something that you mentioned, I would say about 15 minutes ago, where you were yapping about Juan Soto.
Yeah.
What is this hatred for Juan Soto? Listen, I'm not a Juan Soto guy. I was very happy that the Yankees parted ways with him. I would never pay him $768 million. Why do you hate him so much? Why do you think he's an overrated player? What makes him an overrated player?
I think he's just completely overrated. I mean, I think he's talented, of course. Do I think he's a good player? Yeah. He's a subpar outfielder. What does he do on the bases? He doesn't do anything on the bases. I don't care. I want everybody to get paid all the money in the world, dude. I don't want anybody to ever not have money. So I root for that. But bro, you give him all this money and you act like he's Aaron Judge. You act like he's Barry Bonds. He's not. He's a 260 something, 270 hitter who doesn't do well with the glove. And there's a million guys in baseball with his stats. Like, we have a million guys in our generation who have those stats. You don't even know their names because they were average stats for us. And so, I just think it's so overrated. Part of it is, and maybe Soto's the guy that I'm picking on with this, part of it is we make you believe that is elite. We make you believe that those numbers are elite, that that's what it takes to be elite, when to me that's average, right? And so I think we're teaching the next generation and this current generation that you don't have to be very good for us to consider great. And if that's setting the bar for greatness, then our future doesn't look very bright. He's not as good to me as what people think he is. And I don't even think it's debatable.
I agree with you in part of it. The game has changed. You don't have to, like you said earlier, you hit 300, you're going to be in the conversation for the batting title. And I think that's where it's changed. I mean, if you look at his last 5 years, it's 230, 246, 236, 275, 288, and 258. So nothing to write home about, where 10 years ago, we're having a whole different story about this. I mean, obviously his on base percentage, he's a below average outfielder. We're not, and it's not like we're talking shit. We're saying what it is. And I think because the game has changed in certain directions and certain dynamics of how people are portrayed, where now it's so analytical, and his WAR plus and his on base percentage weren't quantified to the extreme that they are now to show the ability of the type of player that they really are. I wouldn't say he's overhyped by any means. I think obviously his plate discipline, he's going to get on base. He's going to hit you 265, 270, somewhere in there. He's going to play an average at best outfield. And I think there's certain things, and it's my son's.
Do we forget what he did in the playoffs last year? Do we forget what he's done in the playoffs before? This guy is a career over 300 hitter in the playoffs, and that's where you get your money. That's where you get paid. Did you see what he did against Cleveland? In the American League Championship?
He's a career 281 hitter. Get your facts right.
It doesn't matter if he's a career 281.
You said 300.
Whatever. It doesn't really matter.
It takes a team to get to the playoffs. It takes a team to win it. Yeah, okay, so he had a good couple weeks of the playoffs.
He was the reason why the Yankees went to the World Series, was he not? Was he the one that hit that home run that put the Yankees in the World Series?
Was there somebody on base?
What do you mean, was there somebody on base?
Was there somebody on base?
I guess there was. I don't remember. I just remember the shot. I remember his home run winning the game.
But for his teammates getting on base and giving him the opportunity, does he get a chance to be that hero? Anybody can be good for 2 weeks, right? A good time to be good for sure in the postseason. But like I said, I mean, I don't know, man. I just need more consistency if we're going to put him as the top 3, 4, 5 guy in the game and pay him like he's the best player in the game. And it's and that's the thing about Yankee fans, or Mets fans. What are we crying about? He is doing right now what he's done his whole career outside of his second year in baseball. And let's go back and look at that team and talk about who am I going to pitch to when you have that loaded team. And I got this kid coming up in his second year. Guess what? You're getting all fastballs down the middle. I don't have time to waste time with you, Soto, when I got all those other guys, right? So he's going to get more pitches to hit anyways. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just to say that he's on that level, I completely disagree. Now, does he have a lot of great qualities and a lot of things that he can do? For sure. And can he go out there potentially and hit 350 with 40? Yeah, no, I think he's very capable. Will he do it? No, he's never done it. I don't know. I think it's I don't know. I don't. He shouldn't be in the conversation. And for the Mets fans to snivel about anything, he's doing exactly what he's always done. So you're getting what you thought you were getting, outside of we overly hyped him to make you guys think that he's doing what Aaron Judge is doing, and he's not that. He's not Ohtani, and so be happy. But like it adds depth, it adds protection. Pete Alonso definitely benefited the first half for it. But now, I don't even know how to put this in, but they're winning because their pitching was amazing, both starting and relieving. Offense has not been good all year. Now all of a sudden the pitching's dead. Soto's unconscious right now, and they're losing more games than ever. So how does that tie to helping that team win?
Yeah, so I wanted to ask about another team that spent a lot of money this offseason, the Dodgers with the deferred money, that whole controversy. Obviously, Ohtani got the $600 million in the deferred money, and then they just kept it going. Do you think that's something that should be changed across baseball? Is it a problem for it, or is it just the Dodgers being like that crazy?
No, it's something we've done for decades. Everybody's done this. We've always done it. Frank Thomas did this. Frank Thomas did for like $30 million, which is a ton of money back then when you're signing.
Hey, today's Bobby Bonilla Day.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
Bobby
right.
Bonilla Day. But like everybody deferred money. This is not new at all by any means. It just got highlighted because the Dodgers are doing it, but then the Dodgers are signing a lot of guys, and everybody's getting pissed at the Dodgers for signing all these guys. So then we're looking at things to bang them for. But no, deferred money is nothing new in our game. It's been going on for decades. It's smart by players, by the way, super smart, especially when you can make $20 million a season just to see if we like the guy. I mean, that's after $20 million, you're sitting pretty good for the rest of your life. So for players to defer money, I just think it's brilliant. I mean, look at Ohtani, look at Max Scherzer. As soon as they retire for the next 15 years, 20 years, they're going to have 20, 30 million coming in a season. Like, it's beautiful. It's brilliant by those guys.
Playing with Max and getting to know Max, I played against him in college and obviously played with him in the big leagues. But yeah, he was like, I'll take less money. I don't need to get paid much. I think he got a $50 million bonus, and he's like, you could pay me $10 million a year. I don't care. And he deferred it for like, I think 12 years. And he's like, I don't need to get paid $50 million a year. There's other people that look at it this way too, where it's like the faster I get it, the faster I invest it. But then if I can't live off 12 million after I'm done, I still invested that. I didn't spend it. And now I get to sit at home, sit at the crib with the kids, play. And next thing you know, I get a check. I'll just use Bobby Bonilla Day. Oh, here's a 7-figure check. Now they're 8-figure checks.
8 figures. Bro, he's got like deferred money from like 3 different teams coming. Like I use him as an example that we're talking. It's funny. I use him as an example today. I'm like, Max Scherzer has just had those brilliant contracts of all time for what he's done for his future. But, you know, some people blow their money. Some people are very good with their money. So it works both ways. But you get a lot of money at once, and then money stops coming in. And in the middle of it, depending on how smart you are, you don't look at price tags. You just go spend. We fight over thousands of dollars of dinner. Oh, I got it. We're all fighting and stuff, And it's like it's no big deal. And then one day it stops. And if you hadn't made a ton of money, it becomes a little bit different place for you. So when you make a ton, it's okay. But to now live off potentially less money, right? Still a lot of money. And then to have that money coming in every year for years and years and years after you retire, it gets to a point where you've done it all, spent it all, and now you start to budget and become a lot smarter with what you want to do. And I just think, like Musina, Moose was the only dude, Job, and I don't know if you ever heard of this before, and I don't know why we didn't do this, but Moose was the only dude who got paid over 365. All of us got paid over 6 months. Moose got paid over 365, which I thought was brilliant because then it makes you learn how to structure and budget money a lot better. And you got money coming in the off season. And I'm like, why don't we all do that? Like that's the way to go right there.
Yeah, there's a few people that did that. He deferred. Really? I think he deferred for, I think it was like 3 or 5 years, I think, from his last contract. But yeah, he always took that option. And I think a lot of people really didn't know if you could or not. And I
never heard of it until I heard Mike do it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people were under the premise too. It's like a lot of people, and it's your agents and your financial people, the faster you invest it. So it's like, yeah, you're going to take more, but then it's like, okay, there's nothing coming. There's so many ways to look at it. I think the deferred money's brilliant.
I do too.
And if you and it's been going on. There's so many people still getting paid. Griffey was the highest paid dude on the Reds for like 4 years
Yeah.
and played with him forever.
Well,
So
think about it now, dude. I know we've been out of the game for a second, but think about it now. Like, would you not like to have a paycheck coming every 2 weeks right now?
I do, and it's nice, but not as big as those ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even if we would have cut that back in half, and then now it's still coming in every 2 weeks, like it's just the structure is so much better.
Yeah, it's completely different.
We are talking to former Orioles, Blue Jays, and Yankees pitcher Josh Towers. You know, Clayton Kershaw is a guy that's probably going to walk away from the game. And a lot of people are going to, you know, after his career's over, what are they going to say about him? What are they going to compare his game to? And he could go down as one of the greatest left-handed pitchers we've ever seen. When he was
do you think he's good, Errol?
I for 7 or 8 years, I don't think there was anybody better than him. I mean, he was untouchable.
But like, given what you just said about Soto, makes me think that you would think he sucks because he's awful in the playoffs.
Well, that's fine. But
great.
Also when Clayton Kershaw was at the top of his game, the Dodgers were up and down when it came to their lineup. Their lineups were never as good as it is right now when you have Friedman on the lineup, Mookie Betts. I mean, Ohtani, it's ridiculous. When Clayton Kershaw was at the top of his game, who was their best hitter? I mean, seriously.
Like Kemp and
there was nobody. I mean, they didn't have any of the roster that they have. If Clayton Kershaw had the roster he had right now and he was at the top of his game, he wins multiple championships. Clayton Kershaw is probably the best left-handed pitcher we've seen in the last 30 years. I mean,
he's so good. When I was there after 09 with the Yanks, I went to the Dodgers. He was 22 years old. Bro, you pull that roster up. Talk about a roster that should have won. Garrett Anderson and Manny Ramirez and Matt Kemp and Andre Ethier. We were loaded on that team too. Walking around that clubhouse, I was starstruck looking at that team. Dude, 22 years old, and he was our leader, bro. Everybody just followed CK. Everybody, he led by example. Kind of had this Roy Halladay quality to him. Like, it's amazing that a kid that young on a team like that had that much respect from an early age. I mean, it's part of why he's so damn good. But no, he's one of the best pitchers, not only just of our generation, but like ever. He's so good, bro.
That's crazy. That's why, because awesome. I want to ask from a pitcher standpoint. We have Nick Goody is on the show all the time. I asked him offset. Congratulations to Nick. He was working with the Guardians this weekend. Yes. Did his play-by-play. It was fantastic. But Nick, I asked Nick Goody offset. I said, what do you see Clayton Kershaw being remembered as? I mean, obviously his greatness for the 7-8 years of his dominance, but what is he going to be remembered? Because the World Series that he won, he wasn't really even a big name or a big part of those World Series championships that he's won, the two championships that he's won over the last couple of years. So what is he remembered as? And he said, dominant. He was the dominant pitcher in the major leagues. I don't think anybody can argue that. So that's my question to you. Another guy that I want to get into is Carlos Rodon. Everybody's taking shots. Yankee fans have taken shots at this contract when obviously, yes, Brian Cashman gave him the money that he gave him. And I thought he underpaid a guy like Carlos Rodon. And Carlos Rodon is having a great season. If you look at his numbers right now, he's 9-5, 2.95 ERA, 123 strikeouts, and his whip is 1. Why does everybody hate on this guy? Now, he's inconsistent, but when he is on, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Let me jump back real quick. In his career, Clayton's 216 and 94 is win percentage. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's insanely dominant. I don't know what I think about Rodon, right? Like, he was literally like a good night's sleep away from being out of baseball and being done. And then the White Sox bring him back because I think he had no offers. And then he goes out and puts a healthy, phenomenal season where it showed off why he was a high round pick. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he was rushed too past the development stages. Some sort of those struggles factored into the big leagues. And then he didn't have any offers, I think it was. So he signs back with the White Sox. And part of that, like, it's beautiful because now it's personal. Now it's like, oh, no one thinks I'm any good. And it's like, yeah, your past wasn't very good and it was full of injuries. So yeah, no, we're good, dude. And then he's like, all right. So then, like, the perfect timing of he gets an opportunity back with the White Sox and he has something to prove. And it just shows that one good season and you can get a contract. But then I think he went to that next team. I was shocked at the contract. I thought that it was a rushed. I think it was $180 million. I thought it was rushed given he had the one good year with the White Sox and then he had the next season and then he becomes that free agent and he was one of the guys on the market, bigger name. I thought it was a a very big contract given he hadn't proved enough consistency yet in his career to be the guy. So again, I don't care what the number is to an extent. You can give Soto $765 million. That doesn't make him Hank Aaron. That's just how much you decided to give him. He still is the guy that he is. And so $180 million doesn't necessarily mean now all of a sudden they got to go win 20 games and win a Cy Young. He's still better than he had consistently been his first 5 years. And so is he giving you a chance to win? Is he making his starts? Is he doing to an extent what he should do? Or did you sign him with the expectations that he was going to be Max Fried first 15 starts where he couldn't be hit? Like, that's not reality either. So we can't always let the number skew us from what the player is and what they were doing. You have to overpay everybody these days. You got to pay over everybody if you want to get them in New York anyways. So the price is always higher in New York than it is anywhere else. You need depth. And so look, we lost Garrett Cole. We got hurt. Like, we're not invincible, and you can never have enough pitchers. The Dodgers have the worst throwing program. Whoever's running that needs to be fired 30 times. It's crazy what they're doing.
Don't tell them that. Don't tell them that, because they think they're just geniuses after all the things they've done.
Every player in the world gets hurt on that team. There's no way. Whoever's running that, that's the biggest joke of all time, because it's been like that. But that's why they got to sign everybody, because everybody gets hurt.
I mean, who doesn't like Tyler Glasnow's name? I mean, he's built like glass. His last name is Glasnow.
Oh.
Tyler Glasnow. And that guy
They've used the most starting pitching this year. They've used 16 starters.
It's ridiculous.
Bro, we just started
insane.
July.
It's insane.
Like, this is crazy that everybody gets hurt like that. And to me, there's 4 non-negotiables, man. It's your throwing program, it's your core, it's your running, and it's your cuff weights. And I'm going to assume they're doing none of those 4. Is what I think. Because I've never seen a team get hurt so much. But again, you need pitching. Like, you can't just go in with 5 or 6 guys and think that's going to work, and then whatever you have in the minor leagues. But it's always what makes the Yankees so brilliant. And I've had this conversation with people too. It's like, there'd be a minor league free agent guy like myself, and it's like, I got a couple options. One of them is like the Yankees, and one of them is the Marlins. And I'm thinking about signing with the Marlins. And I'm like, no, that's not what you want to do. And like, what do you mean? Like, it's an easier path to the big leagues. And it's like, no, it seems like it, but no, it's not. The Marlins are just going to use their guys because they're not really going to use us. We're minor league depth. The Yankees will use everybody. They don't care. They just care about winning. And if you have any experience in the big leagues, and I'm an example of them using them, like, they would rather do that and have a person that they can bring up and use for one day or 1 week that's going to give them the best chance of winning right now, because that's all it is can we win today's game? Joba, in that clubhouse, I never heard anybody talk about anything except how do we win today? Everybody collectively talked about how we can win today's game. And it meant nothing else meant anything. And so the Yankees do that. Our 24th, 5th guy was me, Chad Godin, Sergio Mitre. Like, it's like your 25th, 24th, 23rd guys all had like 6 years in the big leagues. That's a good place to be when it comes to depth. And so the Yankees, they do this stuff where they bring all these guys, and you got Alan Winans now as one of them, and they do whatever they can do to win. But it just also shows you cannot have enough pitching. I do not care. It's a tough thing. So, I was shocked at the Orioles, bro.
I'm not.
Eflin and Kyle Gibson, who I'm a fan of Kyle Gibson's, but how do you let Burns go? How do you not go after Fried? How do you not go after all of these dudes and load up with what you have?
And they have new ownership too.
They think that they're doing good in the minor league system as far as they've had the number 1 rated minor league system. They think they're developing. They don't develop. They're one of the worst ever at developing. They just had the first pick for so many years, and they traded all these guys and took all these. So they got this stockpile of talent, but now we're seeing that none of them are developing, and none of the pitchers have developed. And so it's like, shows you guys didn't actually develop. Stockpile of minor league prospects, and then you had the first pick in the draft, which is pretty hard to mess up.
And
so it's like what happens now?
And whenever they develop a player, they can't sign him. They can't bring him up. Manny Machado, look what he turned out to be. He was a superstar, and then they let him go. And where does he go? He goes to San Diego. And
did you see what they got for Manny Machado?
Yeah, I saw what they got. But what have they won?
None of them. None of them are left. None of them. None of them
haven't won
out.
Anything.
What did the Washington Nationals get for Juan Soto?
Mm-hmm.
What do the Padres get for Juan Soto? Yeah. Like, it's like, how do you mess that up? You got like 6 dudes. And the guy they wanted more than anything in the world that was off limits. The off limits guy was Gavin Lux. And there was all these other dudes that were there they could have chose from that are stars and didn't get them.
Before we let you go, I want you guys, both
I
of you.
thought I was getting my golf clap. This is ridiculous.
No golf clap.
This is ridiculous.
Hold on, Josh. Get your thumb out of your ass. I got to ask you a question. Is there a particular story that you can tell us about Joba when you first, or you met Joba, or you played with Joba? Is there a funny story that you have about Joba?
It ain't funny to him. It'd be funny to me. Every time I hear Joba's name, this is all I think about. Jim Palmer's our TV guy for the Orioles. And Jim's great, right? Hall of Fame guy. But Jim, he was the jockey guy, no shirt. He thinks that, he's still in his head. He thinks he's super, super famous. And he might be in some worlds. And I love it. That's his ego. It's him, but he's a nice guy. So I think it's great. And there's certain things in your career, your life that are said to you. And it's usually by people that are not that close to you, because people close to us are afraid to say the right thing and fear they might hurt our feelings. And so Jim I would always hear it down the hall. Throw your change up. Throw your change up. And he would always yell at me to throw my change up, got to force you to use it more. You would have good conversations with him because he's an intelligent guy. He would always mix himself into the conversation. Don't get me wrong, because he likes to talk about himself. In 2009, we're playing the Orioles, and Jim's the guy that'll just say whatever he wants because in his head, he's Jim Palmer. And I remember we're in the tunnel, and he went to go say something to Joba about something. Same thing he would say to me, and he went to go say something to Joba, and Joba was like, yeah, Jim, we know. No one gives a shit. And he walked away. To me, it was the funniest thing in the world because I know Jim so well. Like to hear Joba just blow his ass off and keep walking. And Jim was only in his head trying to give good advice, and Joba just told him where to go. And I was quietly dying laughing because knowing him so well. It's like I said, to everybody else, not the best, but to me, it always stood out, man, to me.
That sounds
I don't know if you
Joba.
remember something as simple as that, but it was great.
That sounds like Joba. It definitely sounds like him.
I'll tell you mine before we let him go. Josh, my debut was when you hit A-Rod and we cleared benches twice.
That was your debut?
Yep.
What fuck, dude? That should have been handled weeks before that. These guys know the story, but Major League Baseball steps in and was like, oh, you can't hit him. I'm like, you're going to escalate this. We've had this issue a million times. Yeah, that was fun, dude. Remember, so everyone, now everybody knows, but yes, we cleared. Well, the second time was because I went at Tony Pena. Alex thought I was going at him. I was going at Tony because Tony.
I know. Well, and the first time it's my first day. I got the bubble guts. I had to take a shit, and so I was on when you cleared the first time. I heard it. I was literally getting off the can, and I'm running out because the visiting you got to go out and then run down. Yeah. So I'm trying to run and put my stuff together. They're like, you might want to run out there. I was like, oh, this is a great first impression. Yeah, sweet. Yeah,
well, you got a second time too. Brian Wolf also was making his Major League debut that day as well for us. He came in. Oh, no, sorry. I backtracked. That was the first time we should have had Alex and ended it when Brian made his Major League debut and was asked to hit him, and he didn't do it because it was his debut and he was too nervous to do it. That's interesting. So, obviously when I was with you guys, I'm in the bullpen and we're in New York and here it is. We're fighting again. Johnny Mack gets hit or whatever. And there's a fight and I'm running out with Mariano in slow motion. Cause I was like, Mo, I should be in a Blue Jays uniform right now. And Mo goes, hey, just jog slow. And I was like, you're the best, dude. It's the slowest walk ever. So I didn't have to get involved in a fight wearing a Yankee uniform. When I was part of what started that whole shit thing that lasted 4 years. Well, Alex started it, but
I think the golf clap of the day has to be Joba saying he had the bubble guts.
Well, those nerves are you can't duplicate those feelings anywhere else in the world. I don't care, man. This is something that just takes over, and that's what I'm saying about all this rush stuff, rushing these guys to the big leagues. We're putting them in a situation you don't realize what you're feeling and how long it takes to calm that down and be able to do your job when you're feeling something you've never felt before, because there's nothing else that gets to it. And now you got to figure out how to get rid of all this adrenaline and look at yourself as an equal and not look at, holy shit, that's Derek Jeter, and look at, oh, there's a hole here and a hole here, and he does this in this count. He likes to do this in this. Dude, it takes a long time, man. Those nerves are real.
Well, I'll tell you what. My golf clap of the day goes to you for joining us. Okay? Josh, we love you. We do. We love you, man. We love what you do. You do so many great things. Reach out to your son. Tell your son we love him and keep up the good work. I'm looking forward to seeing him, get back into, baseball and pitching and getting
East
to the show.
Carolina. He'll be there. He was there on that team, and they're a good program, so he'll be there.
Maybe we'll link your son and Joba's son together. How about that? Play
Now, where's he at? What's going on with that?
He's a sophomore. He's at Hutch right now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, he was a two-way and then wanted to figure it out, and then so he just got a PRP in his elbow.
So we've had that done too. Yeah. Does he throw fuzz?
He's like 90, 94.
Jesus, so he throws fuzz. So they're about the same. Yeah. Nice.
Hey,
Yeah, he's 6'5", 210.
It's a beautiful frame. And the last name.
How about Joba? Did you think he had a beautiful frame?
Wide.
That's all right, man. As long as you're hiding the ball and it sneaks up on him, we're good. Joba is a freaking beast.
Could you imagine Josh Towers? He's in a dugout, goes up to Joba and says, "Man, you got a beautiful frame."
I've heard worse. Trust me.
Josh, we love you, man. We love
all right,
you.
boys. I love you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Josh,
good to see you, Josh.
A beautiful frame. I love Josh. You know why? Because his personality. He's just very, very funny. He's very fluent, and he doesn't give a crap. He will say whatever he wants to say. He's just like Joba. No wonder why they click. I mean, when it came back and the bubble, what do we call it? Bubble guts? Bubble guts?
Joba, I expect that to be the most used soundbite of yours next week.
Man, those things are real, man.
Bubble guts, beautiful frame. I'm sorry.
Beautiful frame.
I'm sorry. That was funny when he said, "Oh,
we'll
beautiful frame."
Joba, we'll have to definitely get Fish to make a graphic. What is the most beautiful frame for you?
I said wide.